well, like, I don't know, I had a general idea of things, but
sometimes it's better to keep it general.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I was trying, because I feel like I end up writing like 5 pages for a little session.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just do like bullet points, like the important features. But then at the same time, like I started writing and I was like, oh man, I can't like chintz on the session zeros. This is like bringing it in, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we're good to go.
Sweet.
Okay. So welcome to the world of Heartshare.
No.
The world as we know it. It's a plane fraught with pockets of conflict and creatures who prowl in the night, but also home to an array of vibrant cultural hubs and a vast web woven of the threads and stories being formed and told by the denizens of these hubs. One such cultural center, Broad Knoll, sits nestled in the foothills of Tamtarum, home to the Hill Dwarves. It's a city that acts almost as a conduit, a center of trade between the ancient house of mountain dwarves to the south, who supply raw metals, and the innovative rock gnomes to the north, who supply the ingenuity required to craft gadgets and wondrous inventions with material refined in Broad Knoll. The threads of fate, plucked by the wills of the keeper and the tempter, perpetually vibrate and shift, as two particular threads sway closer to becoming entwined. Dun dun dun. So Björn, having made the around 30-day long journey across the ocean, you've said farewell for now to your family and friends in the northern reaches of the harsh continent of Zabal. To ease into your culture shock, you first landed in the Zakalian hinterlands, acclimating for a couple weeks with the Zakalian ice lords, who are of similar lifestyle and stature of yourself. From there, you began your journey southward, passing through the gnomish city of Crankworth, which very much challenged your perceptions of the world. Bustling city of gnomes, mechanical hive just churning out these mechanical creations. But that then gave way to these rolling, verdant green foothills and a towering mountain range to the south. You came upon Broadknoll at the end of a day's travel, making camp just outside the town. The sun now rises above the quaint settlement, a fresh breeze wafting through the flowers and into your lungs as you heave your pack onto your shoulder, heading toward the town center to find a warm meal. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm all packed already, you said?
Yeah, you've just woken up. You've kind of gotten toward the last bit of your rations. You kind of finished the food that you had to travel from Crankworth to Broadknoll in the night, and you're just looking to potentially go in and get some breakfast.
Okay, cool. I just like throw my backpack on, and then I take a deep breath and just like look at the mountains in the south if I can see them.
Make a perception check.
Okay. How do I drag? Just like drag?
I'll look at you. So if you
Is this on me?
If you want to hover over that one, you can just hit. You can hit the R.
Oh my god! First roll.
Oh, it's a 1.
What's your perception?
It's down.
P. +1, so you have 2.
+1. Oh my goodness. 2.
2. You're quite hungry, and like to the point of being like hangry, and you want to like really absorb things and like take things in as you're walking down, but your stomach is just like.
lonely.
But you do see that you have been seeing the mountains to the south, that they stretch like as far as you can see. Basically, it looks like there's a little bit of a channel toward the south, but yeah, that's the gist of what you see.
Okay, cool. And then I just start walking to Broadnell, I guess.
Cool. Sounds good. So you make your way. You're pretty close to kind of the edges of the city, but you begin traversing your way. As you approach the city, you see it's pretty quaint. There's a low, maybe like 5-foot wall surrounding the town. It's like kind of a tan stone with terracotta colored shingles along the edges of the wall, and similar kind of terracotta colored roof work kind of throughout the place. Pretty low to the ground set buildings and businesses.
Okay.
No like crazy skyscrapers, anything. This is kind of a town.
Do I see anybody like before I go into this town?
Yeah. You don't see anyone on the outside of the walls this morning,
Okay.
but as you enter, you begin kind of making your way down the cobblestone streets. The townsfolk are already awake. You hear a dwarven woman yelling, "Oi, children, quit your kerfuffling and come in for breakfast." You hear the metallic clanging of a blacksmith's hammer in the distance. The unmistakable, just rich aroma of freshly baked pastries fills your nostrils.
Thanks. Does anybody look at me weirdly?
You're definitely drawing some gaze. Yeah, some like very upward looking gazes as everyone here kind of comes up basically to your knee or kind of mid thigh height. But it seems like, this is a hub that a wide variety of people pass through. So you see people of other races aside from dwarves as well. You see some humans, some elves, and some gnomes, kind of carting goods around, setting up shop for the day.
Okay. Yeah, where do I go for food?
So as you begin kind of walking through the city, you're basically like, it's like the cartoon character, like floating and like following the waft of pie, basically like floating down the street. And you come upon a it looks like a pub or a restaurant of some sort. Hanging above the door is an elegantly kind of scrawled in cursive sign that says "The Portly Pants Pub and Pastries."
The Portly?
Portly Pants?
Portly Pants Pub and Pastries.
Portly Pants. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go in.
Cool. So you walk up to the building. It's kind of an oval shaped door, which is an interesting. It stands out compared to the other buildings. And you open the door and see a pretty kitschy kind of decor. There's a bunch of steins, and it looks like pieces of paper, maybe awards or something, adorning the walls. So yeah, as you enter, Torin.
Mm-hmm.
The Portly Pants is a place that you've frequented, having grown up in Broadnell and its surrounding areas. And you sit amongst two Oh, I just realized that I meant to text you this context beforehand, but I did not. Okay, so just go with it, I suppose.
Sounds good.
So you sit among two newly made acquaintances. You've accepted a job that you kind of just has you have kind of a solid network in this town, having grown up, and you've been kind of looking for an opportunity of some sort. And there was a mountain dwarf passing through from Crankworth. His name's Hostin Ambermaster. Hostin Ambermaster. And he's basically offering 50 gold on 50 gold upfront and 50 gold upon arrival for an escort to Abrandir.
So I'm just writing. To where, sorry?
Abrandir. I'll type it in the chat.
I got the map pulled up here too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Where's the chat here? Menu?
Maybe this one. Or are you doing Discord or in the?
Yeah, I did it in Discord.
Okay.
Oh.
I was also wondering, so I have Steph's Steam account dropped in here so that, because I'm recording. So she's kind of like the camera right now, or her account is like the camera. I was wondering if you guys could roll onto the map so that we can see the rolls.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, so I'm sitting with Hostin.
Hostin Ambermaster, yeah. Yeah. So you sit with the employer themselves, the mountain dwarf, as well as a calm and composed middle-aged human woman. She has fair skin, dark features, almond eyes, and inky black hair with wisps of white along the sides of her head, and it pulls up into an elaborate kind of braided bun of black hair. Excuse me. She's been rather tight-lipped since joining you and Hostin at the table this morning, but you sit, considering the implications of this journey and leaving your home country for the first time. Yeah, you've imparted the ancient wisdom of the earth to those you could at home. You've been a rock in your community, but there must be others out in the broader world who would benefit from the steady, positive energy you've channeled from Osric. There must be deep holes shrouded in darkness to be illuminated. And this job could be a vehicle to make your way somewhere more dense, ready to be cultivated. You think back to a memory you had as a young child, sitting cross-legged upon the Broadnell foothills. You gazed upon a plume of smoke, drifting above the Duragosric mountains, ever venting from the forges deep within Spine Mall. At that moment, a crack of lightning shot through the cloud, forking and stretching across the sky. You had asked an elder about the strange thunderstorm, who explained that it was a static discharge caused by all the particles of smoke rubbing together, charging and releasing electrical energy. You pondered, considering the sheer chaos of those flecks of ash, contrasting with the orderly, angular bolt of energy cutting through it, yet integrated within it. You reach for your third or fourth breakfast pie, deep in thought, making comparisons of your life in this trajectory to the forking web of lightning you saw that day, choices you made and didn't make. And you think to yourself, you must be one of those forced right now. So yeah, you sit thinking deeply, almost meditative, until you look up as someone enters, where you see, did you want to describe your character, Deanna?
Yeah, well, I think David already kind of knows, but for the sake of it, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big, burly, yokel man who has, white ponytail and a big, long white beard and tattoos all over his body and one on his face. Yeah.
Sweet. And then, so yeah, sitting at the table, you similarly see a gray-haired mountain dwarf. He is like kind of a cul-de-sac type hairstyle that's been kind of pulled into a short ponytail at the back, and then 3 tufts of beard. They're not very neatly braided, but just kind of like puffs, like 3 puffs coming off the front of his face. And then you also see Torin, if you wanted to describe yourself.
Well, I am quite short, about 4.5 feet tall, very stout, very strong. You could tell I've probably worked in a forge for most of my life, and long red beard, long hair pulled back, and lots of braids. Fairly dwarven, ordained with accents of gold and rich colors, and slightly tanned skin, a little darker than mountain dwarves. And I have septum piercing, septum ring,
Badass.
and my trusty hammer leaned at my side.
Cool. Sounds good. So yeah, you sit and eat breakfast as this figure enters, and you see that they kind of have to like crouch down, as like initially when they open the door you just see kind of like the abdomen and legs of someone.
Yeah. So
do you look a bit lost? Do they look a bit lost?
Yeah, I just like look around for a second and then just make my way to the counter.
Cool. So yeah, you kind of crouch your way in, and even inside of here, you're kind of arching your back the whole way and just like ducking under rafters. There are like steins kind of clanking against each other as you brush against them that are kind of hanging from the ceiling. As you make your way to the counter, you see a dwarven woman, bright red hair as well. It's kind of pulled into like Oktoberfest style kind of pigtails.
Mm-hmm.
And she's wearing the like a full dirndl, like a the Oktoberfest like traditional dress. It's like a blouse with the kind of plain brown dress over top of it. And she says, "Hello, good morning."
I say, hi. Something really deep.
As deep as
as deep as I can. Say hi. I see you are very well known. Do they have awards for pies? Is that what they have awards for?
For what, sorry?
For pies? Like their pie making? Or is it like their pastries or their cafe? Like,
We
'Cause
do
I
all
see-
sorts of pies and pastries. Anything you'd like, really. Are you after something savory or sweet?
maybe something savory.
Okay.
Just.
Yeah, we've got a breakfast pie. It's like it's almost like a quiche, but covered, I guess. It has like
Yeah.
chunks of ham and some chives in there. We're actually an award-winning pastry shop. I'm pretty proud of it.
I can see that. I'll take one of your breakfast pies.
Sure. Just have a seat if you can, I guess. Haven't got much in the way of larger seats, but
Yeah. Do you guys have any seating outside?
well, we don't. But you're welcome to sit on the stoop. I mean,
Okay. I'm gonna go sit on the stoop.
Okay. So Torin, you see this big burly yokel person come in and order a breakfast pie, and then again kind of like awkwardly shift away, like bumping into one of the tables and like half kind of like knocking it 90 degrees to the side, basically. And he exits once more, and sits. You can see them kind of through one of the square windows, the silhouette of him just sitting, kind of nomming into his pie.
And where I am, what are we doing? Are we just like?
So you're sitting eating breakfast. Hostin says, "Did you see that?"
I did.
I mean, I know the job listing was just for the two of you, but imagine if we had him, we'd be 100% secure.
I won't deny that. He's quite a formidable figure.
I don't know. Maybe we can convince them.
Shall I go and talk to him then?
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to kind of recap what the job is, so maybe ask them if they'd like to join. Say there's a second pie for them on us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can do
that. Cool. So you make your way outside?
I'll make my way outside, and I'll just like stand on the stoop beside him. Like, hi there, traveler.
Hi.
Oh, we have a spot at a table for you if you want to come and have pie with us.
Okay.
We'll make room.
Okay. I'm quite large.
I think we can pull up a few more tables for you.
Okay.
All right, come on in then.
Okay.
We'll buy you up high.
I walk inside.
Cool. So yeah, you come back and you see that Hostin has already begun kind of like shifting some other tables out of the way to make space for you, and it's kind of like you're sitting at one of those like toddler one of those toddler sized tables. Your knees are like up to your shoulders basically, but you make it work.
Maybe instead of put two benches together.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Austin says, yes, hello, my big friend. My name's Aston, Amber Master. We're about to set off on an expedition. We're to transport these gnomish goods to the outskirts of Abrandir. I'm paying handsomely. My accent's going between like a few different things, but that's cool.
The longer you have to talk, more it goes to maybe more of a posh British accent.
Yeah.
It's just the easy.
It is, yeah. It's just like the default fantasy accent.
Yeah.
He says, I'm paying handsomely, 50 gold up front and 50 gold upon arrival to Abrandir. If you're interested, you're welcome to join. You'd be an asset to the party, I believe.
Thank you.
So yeah, just for some context, these gnomish goods are not necessarily legal.
Yeah.
The spine gate. Are you? My dwarven friend here is probably familiar with the spine gate, but are you familiar?
No.
So the spine gates. It's the channel between the two sides of the ranges of the Duragozuk Mountains. It's the easiest way, I guess, to traverse into the human country. But there's always been conflict there. The ownership goes back and forth between humans and dwarves. At the moment, it's human controlled, but he kind of nods over to the human woman who's been sitting. He says, "We've got some means to shroud ourselves as we approach. You haven't said a word yet. Introduce yourself at least." And she kind of puts her hand up and says, "Yes, hello, I'm Midori."
What was that?
Midori?
Midori.
Oh, Midori.
Yeah, and you look at her. She's kind of like a middle-aged. In kind of real world terms, she looks like a woman of like Asian descent. She's wearing pretty billowy violet robes with a kind of paler violet tabard over the front of her robes. And they have this symbol on them. Pasted in the chat as well. And it's like embroidered in gold on the tabard. Yeah, and she basically just introduces herself, and that's about it. But yeah, we're slotted to shove off this morning. It's maybe a little bit under a week's travel. Maybe 3 or so days to the spine gate itself, and then 3 or 4 to Tabrandir.
Okay.
What'd you say, my friend?
Okay. What's What are these goods?
They're an assortment of gnomish invention. Some are used for kind of expediting the mining process. These I don't know how the gnomes do it, but they've got some brains on them. And these mechanical drills, they've sped things up compared to the kind of manual work we've been used to as dwarves. Yeah, mainly excavation tools. We're not meant to mine the southern edges of the. I mean, when I say we, I mean kind of the mountain dwarves as a whole, not myself specifically. But I'm just a purveyor of goods, so I'm not doing the mining, but someone is.
Yeah. Okay. I don't feel so bad about that criminal behavior.
I mean, you have deniability as well. If anything goes awry, I'll take the heat off of us.
Sounds good. When do you guys start leaving?
Well, fill your belly, have your fill, and we're meant to shove off this afternoon. So if you'd like to join, you're more than welcome.
Yes, that sounds good.
Great, happy to have you.
By this time, I've switched from coffee to a nice cup of morning ale before we hit the road.
I like where your brain's at. Yeah, the dwarven woman who's kind of running the joint, she comes over and brings a couple pitchers for you guys. Yeah.
A pitcher each, that should be enough.
You just like don't. She begins bringing glasses, and you just like he Hudson like waves her back, and he's like it's okay. Cool. So you guys take some time, finish your meal, finish your beers, and make your way back outside of the tavern, where it looks like Huston has had someone pull up a cart. It's like an open cart. It's drawn by two horses, and there's a bit of a bench as part of the cart. So there's like the two horses and then a bench that could probably seat 2 or 3 people. And then just kind of miscellaneous mechanical looking contraptions. You see the kind of like conical drilling heads kind of jutting out in different areas of it.
Best to keep this covered, I think. I'll maybe pull out a cover that's in there and make sure everything's tucked in nice. That's not such a bad thing here, but when we get on the road.
Sure, yeah, I agree 100%. And he begins kind of rolling. There's you both grab either side of it, and there's kind of a rolled up piece of canvas at the head of the cart that's attached that you can just kind of roll and drape over the goods. So the dwarf hops on one of the black horses, and the hooded woman hops on the other and kind of gingerly sets her staff in the bench as well. And she says, keep an eye on that, will you?
So who is sitting up there? Sorry.
So the human woman and the Hostin, or it's a Midorian Hostin, are sitting on the horses, and there's a bench as well, a benched kind of seat. If you guys want to sit or walk along,
It's probably best for me to get on the bench. My little legs can't walk quite as fast as these.
I feel like I'm going to like exhaust these horses, so I'm just gonna walk.
Fair enough. If you're okay with that, we'll give you an extra set of rations for the extra calories you burn.
Cool.
Yeah. As you guys begin walking, you almost have to kind of like slow your gait to to be at the same pace. So yeah, you begin making your way. The town of Broadknoll shrinking in the distance as you make your way southward, approaching the Duragazruk Mountains. So you travel for a couple days. First night, first day goes by without incident. Second day does as well. And as you approach, you're the Duragazruk Mountains just kind of growing and growing as you begin approaching them. And as you get pretty close to the foot of them, you can see kind of directly to the west the familiar to you, Torin, plume of smoke that's just kind of ever drifting out of the mountains as Hostin says, yeah, that's my home city, Spine Mall, the capital. The forge is below are always running. I've never seen the mountain range without that plume of smoke. Midori, if you wouldn't mind, I think we're approaching the spot that we should set things up. And she kind of nods, and the carriage comes to a stop. And she hops off, grabs her staff, and begins kind of pulling some components out of a pouch. If either of you guys want to make a perception check to see if you can see kind of what she's pulling out.
Sure.
All right.
Do it on the...
Yeah. Just make sure I'm grabbing a D20 here. Oh,
You killed yourself.
9, 12.
Is this you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to do one too?
Sure. Is it this one?
Should be that one, I think. Oh wait, no, that one.
This one?
Yep. Close.
Sorry, 4 plus perception?
Mm-hmm.
1.
A 5. Wow, my rolls suck.
So you don't quite catch it, Bjorn, but you see her Torin pull out some kind of dry, flaky. It looks like the sheddings of a cocoon, and she begins kind of crushing them in her hand as she waves across. They kind of drift out of her hand, and Torin, you feel your form begin to like expand and stretch as your body like just like expands into the form of a human. And yeah, kind of opposite. Bjorn, you feel your body begin to like compact and shrink into also the form of a human as well, but a smaller stature human.
A little warning next would be good.
My apologies. I suppose you've never been transmuted before.
Of course not.
As the spell completes, there's like metal plating that begins to just like chink, chink, chink form on your body. As as the spell finishes, you're kind of covered head to toe in gold-plated armor. And she says, "Well, I'm sorry. I'll warn you next time, but for now, at least you blend in."
Quite fancy adornments here.
Quite fancy what, sorry?
Adornments. Sorry, I was thick accent.
I'm trying. Oh no, she doesn't have an accent. Getting used to these Dwarven accents.
Yeah, it's
hard. He says, "Yeah." Hassan says, "His body as well has been expanded and shifted into the form of a human." He says, "We look like the Oran Guard now, the royal guard of the capital city." So maybe just keep the talking to our friend here. She's got it covered. As you look over, she's also waving an incantation over the goods that are in the back of the cart. It looks like some sort of illusory image of just like barrels and crates and like pickled goods, jarred goods, and things. Yeah. So we're about half an hour away from the entrance to the spine gate. Eyes low, and I think we'll be okay.
all right.
So actually, you, Bjorn, initially you're like, "Oh, is this like an illusion?" But as you kind of like feel around your body, no, you've been transformed into a human or into a smaller sized human. So you're probably at a comfortable weight for the horses if you want to hop on the bench as well.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
give your gams a break.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you guys begin making your way. You see the channel carved between the two mountains, the two mountain ranges, and you see these two kind of bastion towers that have been almost embedded into the rock wall on either side. As you approach, a similarly dressed or similarly kind of geared up guard comes down. He's to Midori's credit, the disguises look pretty identical to what he's wearing. And he says, "Halt! What's your business?" And Midori says, "Yes, I'm a member of the Ecumenist Conclave, and I had a craving for dwarven fare. Stocking up my personal pantry. These are just some dwarven delicacies. Just headed to Abrandir with my personal escort." And he kind of walks around, nods at each of you, pulls back the canvas, Takes a couple seconds, kind of scanning over the top of it, and says, "All right, you're good to go." As you make your way through, the tower is shrinking in the distance, and probably about a half an hour away, Midori says, "My big fellow, you may want to step off the cart as the spell comes to a close."
Sounds good.
As opposed to giving our horses a strain. So you step off, and then your forms shrink and expand back into your comfortable natural forms. Austin says, "Yeah, we're going to keep to the kind of southern borders of the mountains, as opposed to traveling on the road for the last bit. So we'll turn off here and just skirt along the side of the mountains."
Sounds like a plan.
So you guys kind of turn off the path and begin. There is a bit of roughly worn path. It's not, as groomed as the proper path, but compressed grass and things, so it's easy enough for the cart to roll over. Again, you travel through. First night is fine, and the second night, as you've kind of posted up for the evening, I'm going to move you guys onto the map. Maybe tents here. So you guys are posted up for camp for the night. Are you guys going to do watches for this particular night, or?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I can take first watch.
Sure.
Much appreciated. I'll take the last watch. I'm an early riser, anyways.
Yeah, I'll take second. Yeah.
Thank you. So David, make a perception check for your first watch.
Okay.
Is that a roll, or did it just drop?
I was just gonna drop it, and then I was gonna do the.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which I should have just taken the other one. That's gonna be. What did I roll?
4.
So that's a 7.
7. Okay, cool. Yeah, you sit kind of posted up next to the fire, tending to the coals, making sure that they don't totally go out, so you have kind of a grilling space for the next morning. You sit. It's an eerily kind of quiet night. You've never been on this side of the mountain ranges before, so it's kind of strange having them at your back.
I think I'll be kind of looking back at the mountains and just thinking about how this is the farthest I've ever been from home. And kind of look down at my fist and just see little sparks going through my fingers and seeing those arcs and those splits. And that's kind of my feeling of life taking me somewhere else, and take kind of a comfort in that, and feel at ease.
Nice. Cool. So you kind of look down at your fist as the lightning, the little static web, kind of crawls up and down your fist. Feels like the breeze almost picks up a little bit as you do that. Yeah, funny. I just thought of Samwise Gamgee. Like, Mr. Frodo, one more step and that's the farthest I've ever been from the Shire.
just stop suddenly.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Sam? Mr. Frodo.
No, Mr. Frodo. Cool. But your watch goes by without event. As you stir Bjorn awake, give kind of a gentle rap to the canvas tent.
Hi, my friend. It's your turn.
Okay.
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 So yeah, you kind of sleepily make your way out of your tent, give a good stretch, and similarly post up at the campfire, taking a listen. Did you want to roll perception on your watch?
Yeah. Which one did you? Oh, this one. Ooh. Are you kidding me?
The same roll.
Same roll, David.
So 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, similarly, you sit and contemplate. You've seen. You have now, since you've been on Ayano, you've seen like large, kind of looming natural formations. You spent some time in Zakalia where there's this sheer, just ice cliff as like a shelf, basically, that you had to make your way up in order to begin kind of heading south. But you've never seen rock formations like this. The tundra that you come from is pretty barren, just flat kind of tundra landscape. There's no real kind of escape from the stinging of the Arctic winds up there. So yeah, you kind of sit and feel the comfort of this massive mountain range, and it feels like it's sheltering you. You begin feeling, very comfortable to the point where you're not really paying attention. As, let's see, 1 second.
So this middle die.
Yeah. Does a 9 hit your armor class?
No.
No. Before you can react,
Zoom.
zoom.
Zoom in.
Before you can react, this flurry of claws just almost, it seems like it almost just apparates out of nowhere as this winged creature swoops down and attempts to rake across your back. It just kind of bounces off of your hide armor as it lands and screeches loudly. All right, everyone, let's roll initiative.
Holy shit.
It's not really rolling.
Yeah. It doesn't roll, I notice. I see.
There we go.
7?
You have to really throw it.
Yeah.
Oh, so what is mine? 7.
-1?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
So I'm
+1.
I'm 6.
And I'm 12.
So 6 for Torin. 12 for Bjorn. Can I roll again? So yeah, as this winged form just swoops down, each of you, the screech is loud enough to kind of shake you awake from your sleep. As you step outside of your tents, you see this humanoid creature, just like long taloned claws on the feet and hands, and wings kind of sprouted from the back, that's kind of harrying Bjorn. It rolled really high initiative, so it's going to go first and begin clawing at you, Bjorn.
Oh no.
That's a 16 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so 3 points of slashing damage as the harpy kind of bounces off of you and then goes back in for 2 swipes, kind of raking across the front of your chest.
Ouch.
Cool. And then you're up next, Bjorn.
Cool. I just do a warrior cry, I guess you would call it. Great axe, just swing my great axe at it.
Nice. All right. Go ahead and roll to hit.
So that's just my d20, right?
Yeah.
6 plus 6. Is that right?
6.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 12.
12. Yeah, that hits.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I think it's 1d12 plus 4.
So, David, how do I get to the dice?
I just pulled it out for you.
Nice. Thanks, Sander. 10. So 14.
14. Yeah, nice. See you after this figure kind of bounces off of you, comes back in for a couple rakes. You lean into the pain as you shout a blood-curdling battle cry and whoosh, with mighty force, swing your axe, sinking it into kind of the side of this creature. Yeah, that's a good chunk of damage.
Nice.
Nice. Torin, you're up.
Okay, I am gonna pop out of my tent here, and I'm gonna point my hammer towards the creature, and I cast Sacred Flame.
Nice. So that's a dex save for him, right?
Dex save 13.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's a 2. 2 plus 1, 3. No, that's a fail.
Okay, so it says 1d8 on here. Do I add anything to that?
No, I think most spells are just like straight dice damage.
Okay. So grab a d8 here. Yeah, I just dropped it. I didn't roll it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
1 point of damage. I don't like that roll.
We need a dice jail on this table.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just waking up, and you're kind of just like groggily peering through the slits of your eyes and trying to track whatever this thing is, and you just kind of wildly shoot a burst of divine energy, and you do manage to catch it, but it just kind of grazes it for 1 point of damage.
Sounds good.
Or were you hitting this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's just it just seems like one hostile creature right now.
Oh.
And then I can do how much did you get hit for? Did you get hit yet?
Yeah, I got 3 points of damage.
Okay. As a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Healing Word.
Okay, cool.
So 1d4 plus my so now I gotta get a d4. Come with me, d4.
This one is plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
So 3 plus 3, so it's 6. So you get 6 points of healing.
Wow.
So you're up to full.
I can't go past full?
No, not with this spell.
Thank you.
So you're still waking up, but you're awake enough to realize that Bjorn is kind of recoiling in pain. Do you say anything as you say anything as your healing word?
Not this time because I'm half asleep. So you're just gonna get.
Cool. Sounds good. You feel like some sort of warm, positive energy just kind of wrapping itself around the front of your torso, Bjorn, as you feel your wounds closing.
Wow.
Wow.
Sorcery.
Hostin has also woken up and is just going to begin dashing toward the creature and is going to take a swing. Shiza, that's a 5. So he begins low to the ground, kind of running his way, and swings heavily with his warhammer, as the creature kind of sidesteps the heavy hammer, sinks itself into the dirt. Midori is just like casually, slowly waking up and just like taking a big, long stretch, and almost seems kind of unfazed.
Yeah.
She's just gonna wake up and kind of begin taking stock of the situation. Bjorn, you're up again.
Cool. I'm just gonna keep going at it with my great axe.
When you were like shouting, were you raging or?
No.
Okay, not
Yeah.
yet. Okay, cool. Take
Cool.
another swing.
So 18.
Plus.
18 plus 6, I think it's 24.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, 24.
Yeah,
Wow,
that
nice.
definitely hits.
Cool. And then 1d12 plus 4. 9. So 13.
9.
9.
13 points of damage. Nice.
Oh.
I kind of messed that up because the harpy was supposed to go before you, but that's cool. Cool. So you feeling kind of reinvigorated from the heal, carve the opposite direction and again sink it into kind of the shoulder blade. And yeah, it's looking already pretty bad.
Awesome.
Yeah. So in its space, are you doing anything else with your go?
No.
Okay. It kind of cries out into the air, not kind of anticipating. it kind of thought that you were the only one at the fire, so it's been like surprise ambushed by these 3 people so far. And it cries out, but its cry begins kind of shifting into this melodic tune. Everyone needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh my goodness. That's just a d20, guessing? Plus your wisdom.
Plus your wisdom modifier.
Oh, mine went off the board. 9 plus 1, 10.
10.
I figure out what I was going to do. Bjorn. Torin.
Plus 5.
Uh, 21.
21. Okay. Okay. So Bjorn and Hostin, Torin, as this creature begins singing almost like a siren song. You see their hands just kind of go limp to their sides as they're just transfixed on this creature. It's then going to move over here and begin. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, okay. And it's also going to be up. I wonder if I can drop in something. Wow.
Huh.
Rotate this. Oh. Okay. Still learning the ropes of
Mhm.
Twitter. put her on some checkers.
Oh, to
Like make her in the air.
Yeah. So yeah, in kind of a cloud of dust kind of erupts from her feet as she whoosh, takes to the air. Torin, it's your go.
how high up is she?
She's probably about 10 feet up in the air right now.
Okay. I'm gonna cast a Thunder Wave.
Okay.
It's 15. Oh, never mind. It's a cube orienting from me. Oh, I guess I can move up. I can move. So each of these squares 5 feet.
Yep. Yeah, and 15-foot cube, so it would go 15 feet up in the air as well.
Yeah. So I'll move up in the square. I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Nice.
And Constitution saving throw.
Con saving throw. I'm just gonna roll out here because it's fun, so you guys can see it.
Okay, that's so big.
Oh my god, it's huge.
Yeah, I should have just put her on top of this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, 14 plus 1, 15 to save.
Okay, well they take half as much damage then.
Yeah, so 2d8 halved.
Rocco, stop.
5. So that's 8. So 4 points of damage.
Nice.
So I don't add my attack damage modifier to any of those rolls, or is it just when it's specific?
Yeah, not for those spells. Like, yeah, it would specify plus your spell damage modifier.
Okay.
But I think a lot of damaging spells are just dice.
Okay.
Yeah. But even so, this creature was, not doing very well already. And as the kind of wave of electrical energy forks and leaps across the ground, sparks up and catches her kind of in the lower portions of her body. You see smoke kind of beginning to rise from her wings and the bottom half of her as she turns and hisses backwards at you. Cool. She's going to actually she's gonna start flying away. So she flies. She uses her action to dash. She just whoosh takes off into the tree line.
Damn you.
Bjorn, you can make another. What kind of save is it?
Wisdom, I think.
Yeah. 11. Or sorry, wisdom saving throw.
Oh, shoot.
That went down on the ground.
Whoops. I'll have to roll again. So just R, I guess. 12 plus 1.
Yeah, you saved. So you had kind of, as it turned and began flying away, you're just kind of transfixed on it. But you managed to just like shrug off the effects of it. But that was at the end of your turn, so unfortunately you can't do anything this go.
Yeah.
Torin, it's your go.
Guess we're not getting any help here. Yeah, what can I do here?
How far away is it?
Well, I can 20. Here. And try to think of what I can do from here. What's the range on this? I'm going to cast Sacred Flame again.
Cool, so that's a Dex save.
Dex save, yep.
16 plus 1, 17.
Yeah, they make it.
Okay. So yeah, as it begins kind of swooping out, it just manages to whoosh, curl its way around a tree as your kind of pillar of divine light bounces off a tree trunk. The wizard Midori begins kind of just slowly pacing around the fire. And says, "Well, looks like that's handled. That creature probably won't be back.
Unless I come back with more. Would I know what the creature is?
Make a nature or a history check, whichever you want."
Well, probably not going to get anything with that roll.
Plus 1 or plus 1?
Yeah, 4.
4. You've heard of winged humanoid creatures kind of swooping in on unsuspecting travelers, especially close to the mountain ranges. Trying to think back as to what they were called again. You can't totally remember.
All right.
Austin says, "Well done. I got my my money's worth with hiring you." Wouldn't want any harpies drilling their way into the mountains. Not that would really be their preferred terrain. Midori says, "I'll stay up and join your watch. I was the only one who didn't opt for a watch. You dwarven fellow, feel free to go back to sleep if you can, I suppose."
I think I can get back to sleep just fine. So, are we at initiative then?
Yeah, we're out of initiative now.
I'll walk
Yeah.
my guy.
It's you see kind of the silhouette of it pass across the kind of full moon.
Creepy.
Yeah, and it looks pretty high and far away now. So as you two kind of go back into your tents, Midori says, "You handle yourself well." To Bjorn.
Oh, thank you. I've been doing this a long time.
I can see that. Yeah, great. So where do you come from?
I come from a place called Zabal. Have you ever heard of it?
Yes, I know of Zabal. I've never been I've been to, I guess, the southern portions. Seems like you may be from the north.
Yes. You've taken a long journey over the sea before?
I'm actually also from Zabal, but from the complete opposite tip, the southern tip of the continent.
Oh wow! What brought you over here?
Well, I'm a member of the Ecumenist Conclave. We're kind of an order of arcane practitioners. Yeah, I was kind of born into it, I suppose. Yeah, I spent my childhood pouring through books and just kind of being a big nerd about the arcane, essentially. And it, thankfully for me, kind of blossomed into this role. So yeah, I'm very, very thankful. Not many people leave the desert that I'm from.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's a long journey.
But it is, yeah, you guys stay up and chat beside the fire for the rest of your kind of couple hours of watch, as Hostin kind of groggily comes out of his tent and says, I'll wrap up the rest of the watch, I guess. Begin preparing things for the last couple days of travel.
Cool.
Cool. So you guys go back to sleep, and his watch also passes without event. You rise in the morning. He's already begun grilling some rations over some rations of meats and root vegetables over the fire. You have a filling breakfast and set off once more. You travel for another day, and in the evening, set up camp once more. Midori asks both of you, do you mind staying up for a little bit? I have a bit of a proposition. Let me ask you around the campfire.
Aye, sure.
Settle in for a bit of a story, I suppose. So at the dawn of time, the forces of law warred with the forces of chaos for control of the cosmos. The Battle of Pesh was the climax of this campaign, where the armies of chaos were led by Miska, the wolf spider. The celestial archons were desperately outnumbered, and so they fashioned this artifact known as the Rod of Seven Parts. And it was a weapon powerful enough to kill Miska in a single strike. But even so, the Battle of Pesh was a draw. Neither law nor chaos won the day. And the majority of the Archons were defeated, but In the final moments, their leader struck Niska with the rod. However, rather than being slain, the wolf spider was mortally wounded and imprisoned for eternity within the abyss. The resulting balance created the material plane that you see now as it exists, with a tense standoff between order and anarchy. So essentially, the balance of Heartshear is in the hands of the wielder of the Rod of Seven Parts, for it can still both slay Niska and free her. Because the rod's so potent, it can't be conventionally protected. Therefore, keep it safe. The Wardens designated separate sections of the rod to be scattered across the globe for whenever its full powers were needed to be employed. Each piece of the rod both leads and urges its bearer to the direction and of the next kind of sequential section. So myself, being a member of the Cumanus Conclave, we're kind of home to the world's most powerful arcane practitioners, and we're kind of the upholders of law across planes. And we're also the only mortal sect aware of the location of these seven parts. Across the centuries, we've heard whisperings of shadowy forces making plans to acquire the pieces of the rod in order to free Niska, but they had never moved to action until now. Savas Tom, a dark archmage, and his elite lich servants have acquired one of the seven parts and retreated to his domain, known as the Doom Vault. And as she just kind of like verbally diarrheas all this stuff on you, she kind of sits for a moment, just kind of gauging your reactions to the story.
That's some heavy stuff. Quite profound.
Quite profound. Yeah, I know. I know. I understand. This is probably a lot to take in, and out of game. I'm sorry because I'm also kind of rushing this because I have to hop in that call in like 15 minutes. But yeah, I know that this is a lot to take in. You may not be kind of as involved with the circles who dabble in these crazy, cosmic events of our world's history, but that's precisely why I believe that you should take the pursuit of these artifacts on. I'm looking for a capable but lesser known group of skilled individuals such as yourselves, so as to keep the Conclave's movements kind of under the radar.
And you trust us with this? You hardly know us.
It's a relationship that would grow over time. And, if you were to obtain one of the pieces, that's kind of enough to, I feel, get the ball rolling.
So that's what you'd ask us with, finding one of these relics.
Yes, if you're interested. And yeah, I understand, you probably think with our resources, we could probably hire the world's top mercenaries, but that would kind of only accelerate those forces that are moving against us. So I've been kind of traversing the world, signing up for these low level or, kind of seemingly less hazardous quests, if you will, I guess, to kind of assemble a group of lesser known adventurers. We aim to collect these seven parts, including the artifact acquired by Savas, just so that we can scatter them further, this time not across continents, but across planes of existence, so we can truly secure Heartshear.
Just wondering, like, these, would I have heard of these people, these type of people, humanists, or like the conclave?
Yeah, make a history check. Ooh,
Nice.
19. Oh, 18.
18. Okay, 1 second.
I'm thinking just like to get a gauge of their, like, what kind of people they are, how good of a people they are. If they're fighting for just cause and righteousness, justice.
For justice. Yeah, so you having grown up in kind of like a trade city, you've encountered people who have traveled from other parts of the world, and you have always kept an ear out for whatever pieces of information you could acquire from the outside world. And you know that they're a pretty secretive circle of arcane practitioners. You know that they have a pretty broad network that spans across the world and even across the planes, but that they generally consider themselves kind of not above, but I guess less concerned with the politics of Heartshare and more concerned with kind of the broader impacts of misuse of arcane magic. They will kind of uphold law, arcane law especially, and will end kind of any misuse of magic.
Well, I can tell you, if what you're saying is true, I can't have that type of evil coming into this world, and I'll fight till the death to prevent it. So you have my hammer.
I appreciate that. It's not going to be a small task, but you'll grow along the way. And the first of these is lesser. I don't think it's on Savas's radar, and it's in, a long forgotten citadel. So with any luck, it won't be as threatening as the Doom Vault itself, but it seems like a good jumping off point at least.
What about you, Björn? What do you say? Will you join?
Yes, I will join. What else to say?
Yeah, I mean, I saw you almost cleave that harpy in two. I'd be happy to employ you. So yeah, as I said, I've been kind of traversing the world for a while, trying to make connections and assemble this kind of group. We're meeting at the Yawning Portal in Abrandir. So perhaps when we split off from Hoston, you can come with me.
Yes, I'll see this job through, and then we can come with you.
I'll discuss things further in detail, and give you more of a sense of what you're truly jumping into. But I'm gonna wait until all of you are together.
I see you found others.
Yes, I've been working on it. They'll be rendezvousing with us as well. So you'll have some other friends to meet.
All right.
Sounds fun.
Awesome. Cool. So you guys pack up the next morning and begin making your way for the last day of travel. As you begin kind of crawling into the deeper parts of night. It gets toward like midnight, 1 o'clock, as you just see the capital city begin to kind of crest. You begin making your way into Avrendir. It's kind of a much taller wall surrounding the city compared to Broadnell, that's for sure. It's like a 10 plus story wall that just surrounds the outside, these kind of triangular bastions posted periodically throughout the length of the walls, and kind of peppered at the base of this wall on the outside are kind of shanty district, it looks like. As you come to the outskirts, Austin says, we've made it, Sabrandir. My business is here in the Rust district. So this is where I part ways with you. Thank you kindly for the protection. And if you find yourself in Spine Mall, come say hello.
I will do.
Of course.
It's a pleasure, friend.
Pleasure. Hope to see you again. Hope you cross paths. So yeah, just for the sake of, I gotta hop in the call in like 5 minutes. But you guys, you guys make your way through the city. I'll give you a better explanation and kind of description of the city next game. But you make your way into the human capital and come upon the yawning portal. It's a simple, unassuming stone building, a slate roof. There's kind of a visible seam in the wall where it looks like there's newer stone that sits on the foundation of older stone that might have been like a ruins that were built back up or something. It's a 4-story building. There's worn wood panels shuttering the windows and a signboard above that reads "The Yawning Portal," hanging on chains from black iron chains announcing the entry to the tavern. So you enter. It's empty, basically. It's kind of late enough in the night where they've kind of done last call. You see a human man kind of standing at the bar, scrubbing the inside of a stein with a cloth, as he just kind of nods at Midori. Midori says, I have some rooms already set up in advance, so make yourself comfortable for the evening, and we'll chat again over breakfast.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Sweet. That's it.
Cool. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, of course.
And on just one question on D&D Beyond, do you know where the thing is for rest?
Yeah, there should be like a long rest, short rest button.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. I can figure it out though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go to your call.
Okay, cool.
Should just be on. I'm probably
Yeah,
just missing it.
some.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it on these tablets. It's weird. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, that was lots of fun. Hope you liked it.
Yeah. I can't wait to meet everybody
I
else.
know, yeah. It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Okay,
Cool.
Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, talk to you guys soon. Have a good rest of your Sunday.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, love you guys.
Love you guys.
You too. Bye.
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 So I have a hard time fully understanding what he's explaining
Okay.
sometimes. So I think that's why